What if I told you that the moment you pick up a crystal, it starts observing you, not the other way around? Not magically, not instantly, but subtly, silently, deeply. For the next 24 hours, your energy, your thoughts, your emotions, they begin to interact with it in ways most people never notice. And the truth is, most people use crystals completely wrong. This is not another hold a crystal and your life will change story. This is raw, real, energetic truth, based on how crystals actually interact with your body, your nervous system, and your subconscious mind. For the next few minutes, imagine you're carrying one crystal with you, for a full 24 hours. No breaks. No rituals. Just presence. Let's go hour by hour, layer by layer, into what really happens. Hour 0 to 1, the first contact. The moment you touch a crystal, nothing dramatic happens. No spark. No instant calm. No miracle. And that's where most people get it wrong. Because the first thing a crystal does is not give energy. It stabilizes. Your body is electrical. Your brain runs on signals. Your heart emits frequency. A crystal is a stable geometric structure. It doesn't fluctuate like you do. So when you hold it, your chaotic energy begins to slow down, just slightly. You might not feel peace, but you may notice a tiny shift. A pause in your thoughts. A moment of stillness. That is the beginning. Hour 2 to 4, subtle awareness begins. Now something interesting starts happening. Not in the crystal, but in you. Your awareness sharpens. You start noticing your thoughts more. The overthinking. The emotional triggers. The inner noise. Why? Because when your energy stabilizes, even slightly, it becomes easier to observe yourself. Crystals don't remove negativity instantly. They expose it. And that's uncomfortable for most people. You may suddenly feel irritated, restless, even emotional. Not because the crystal is harming you, but because it's making you aware of what was already inside. Hour 5 to 8, emotional surfacing. This is where most people quit. Because now, the real work begins. You may feel random mood shifts. Old thoughts, resurfacing. Memories you didn't think about, suddenly appearing. This is not coincidence. Crystals work like energetic mirrors. They don't heal you by force. They create a space where your suppressed emotions feel safe enough to rise. And when emotions rise, your mind tries to escape. You'll feel the urge to put the crystal away. To distract yourself. To scroll, to avoid, to ignore. But if you just stay present, this phase becomes powerful. Our 9 to 12 energy alignment phase. Now your system starts adjusting. Your breathing slows down naturally. Your reactions become slightly delayed, in a good way. Instead of reacting instantly, you start responding. This is subtle, but extremely powerful. Because this is where control begins. Not control over others, but control over yourself. Crystals don't control your life. They help you regulate your internal state, if you allow them. At this stage, many people report feeling lighter. Not happy, not excited, but less heavy. And that's real progress. Hour 13 to 16, resistance or connection. At this point, one of two things happens. Either you feel deeply connected to the crystal, or you feel completely disconnected. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Both are normal. Connection means your energy is resonating. Disconnection means your mind is resisting stillness. Because your mind thrives on noise, on chaos, on distraction. A crystal represents the opposite. Stillness, silence, stability. And your mind doesn't always like that. So if you feel bored, restless, or even irritated, that's not failure. That's resistance breaking. Our 17 to 20 deep internal shift. Now something deeper starts happening. Your thoughts slow down. Not completely, but noticeably. You start choosing what to think. Instead of being controlled by every random thought, you gain space. And in that space, clarity appears. You may suddenly realize things about yourself. Patterns. Habits. Emotional triggers. Things you ignored before, now feel obvious. This is not magic. This is awareness, amplified. Crystals don't give you answers. They remove the noise, so you can hear your own truth. Our 21 to 24 integration. Now your body, your mind, your energy, they begin syncing. Not perfectly, but more than before. You feel grounded, present, aware. And here's the most important truth. The crystal didn't change your life. You did. The crystal simply held a stable frequency, long enough for you to meet yourself, without distraction. And that is where real transformation begins. So now you've spent 24 hours with a crystal. But here's the real question. Did anything actually change, or did you just imagine it? Because what happens next is where most people either unlock real power or walk away thinking crystals don't work. The after 24 hours, what you feel when you put it down. The moment you stop carrying the crystal, there's a shift. Not dramatic, not obvious, but noticeable, if you're aware. Your mind tries to go back to its old patterns. Faster thoughts, automatic reactions, emotional triggers. And suddenly, you realize something shocking. You were calmer before, more aware, more in control. That contrast, that difference between with and without, that is your proof. Not belief, not blind faith. Experience. The truth about crystal power. Let's break the biggest illusion. Crystals are not magical objects that fix your life. They don't attract money overnight. They don't remove all your problems. And they definitely don't work if you expect them to do everything for you. What they actually do is much deeper. They act as anchors, stable frequencies, in a very unstable human system. You are emotional, reactive, ever-changing. A crystal is constant. And when you stay close to something constant, you begin to recognize how unstable your inner world really is. That awareness is the real power. Why most people fail with crystals. Now here's the raw truth. Most people use crystals like decorations. They wear them, but don't connect. They hold them, but stay distracted. They expect results, without presence. And then they say, crystals don't work. But the truth is, they never gave it a real chance. Because crystals don't work on autopilot. They work when you slow down enough to meet them halfway. The right way to use a crystal after this. If you've truly experienced even a small shift, then don't stop here. But also, don't become dependent. Because the goal is not to rely on the crystal forever. The goal is to train your mind and energy to reach that state without it. Use the crystal as a tool, not a crutch. Carry it when you feel overwhelmed. Hold it when your thoughts feel loud. Sit with it when you need clarity. But always remember, the power is not inside the crystal. It's inside your awareness. The crystal just helps you access it faster. The deeper layer most people miss. Here's something very few people understand. Crystals don't just interact with your energy. They respond to your intention. If you treat it like an object, it stays an object. If you treat it like a tool for awareness, it becomes a mirror. And if you treat it with presence, respect, and focus, it becomes a trigger for a completely different state of consciousness. That's why two people can use the same crystal and get completely different results. Because the crystal is not the variable. You are. After 24 hours, and everything you've felt, everything you've noticed, everything that shifted, there's one truth you cannot ignore anymore. You don't need something external to control your life. You need awareness. You need stillness. You need connection with yourself. And if a simple crystal can show you that, even for a moment, then imagine what happens when you stop running from your own mind and start mastering it. Now I want you to be completely honest with yourself. Not with me, not with anyone else. Just you. Have you ever actually given anything in your life 24 hours of pure presence? No distractions. No expectations. No shortcuts. If this video made you feel something real, not excitement, not hype, but awareness, then don't just watch and scroll away. Pause. Think. And tell me, what did you feel? What changed? What did you notice about yourself that you were ignoring before? Because the people who answer this honestly are the ones who don't just watch content. They transform through it.